Welcome to Penrhys, the heart of the hills, the village in the sky. A place they say time has forgotten, but a place that is steeped in rich memories and community spirit. But who are the people of Penrhys? What does their village mean to them? And what are their hopes for the future?
Hi, my name's Neil Thomas. I've been volunteering in the community now for about 7 years.
Hi, my name's Penrhys and I'm a church community worker at Llanfair.
I'm Perched. I'm a lead artist and co-producer on the Above and Beyond project.
I'm Sandra Lacey and I'm a dance artist and a choreographer.
My name is Paul Harrison. Hi, I'm Jan Griffiths.
My name's David Flanagan. I'm the neighbourhood manager here in Penrhys.
My name's Deborah Jones. I'm the Family Engagement Officer at Penrhys Primary School.
Hi, my name's Louise Jones. I've been working at Penrhys Primary for about 18 years now.
My name's Andrew Williams. I'm the head teacher at Penrhys Primary School.
In a place where community spirit is its greatest asset, you'll always find something going on in Penrhys.
I've been volunteering in the community now for about 7 years. Volunteer for Llanfair Church behind me. We run a privately run food bank, furniture bank, there's a clothes bank. You've got everything from homework club, daytime cafe, which is open behind me, evening cafe for the children and their parents, wellbeing walks, warm spaces, you name it, almost everything's done in the building behind us by here.
We've been open for 32 years and I'm responsible for the community projects, including the cafe and the homework club. And also we've a close link with the local primary school in Penrhys. So I came to Penrhys 32 years ago and it's the best move that I made. I have lots of friends here. It's a very friendly community, especially to visitors. We get lots of visitors, including people from overseas, and it's a good place to be.
So the arts project that I'm a lead artist on is called Above and Beyond. The project's been running for between 4 to 5 years, but my time in the project has been the last 2.5 years. I started on the project as an early career artist, as a local artist, working across 2 art forms, primarily beatboxing and music and parkour movement dance. I've recently, within the last year, kind of taken on the role of lead artist and now more recently also co-producer. The project for us, aims to strive towards social development and amplifying the voice of those in the community through the love of art. My art forms primarily theatre and spoken word poetry, but I tend to use the art forms of music and physical theatre within the sessions I run here.
I've been working on this project for the past 3 years. I work in dance and health as well, so I like to really use the arts to bring meaning and to kind of use them for social change and social empowerment and really work on physical well-being and mental well-being. I've been here for 3 years and it's just such an amazing community. I feel now that I've been here for this long. There's lots of relationships that have formed. I can see the children growing and changing. In a parent and toddler group, when they started, they were only 3 months old and now they're coming to my dance classes and parkour classes, and it's just great to see how they are improving, how their confidence is changing, all the skills they're learning, and I feel really part of Penrhys, part of the community, and I know some of the grandmas, some of the babies, some of their mums and toddlers, and it's just wonderful to feel part of it. And Penrhys has just got such a lovely community feel. Everybody is looking out for each other, and I love coming here on a Wednesday. It's just my highlight of the week.
So the pantry became to be because when Mr. Williams started as our new head at Penrhys Primary School, he had the idea from the previous school he was in. And at the time, the church Sharon and Neil were doing food parcels for the community, so we thought we'd give them a helping hand. And then one thing led to another. I spoke with Tracy Cook, and she came and had a little chat with me, and she was all for the idea. So we went around lots of different schools, and to see whether it how much it would cost, and because we obviously needed to buy the cabin and refurbish it out really. So Tracy was on board, and I did some costings. Tirelessly were happy to supply the school with the funds, and that's where it started. It's been a long process. We are nearly at the end of it, so we're hoping now in the next couple of weeks that our Penrhys pantry will be up and running, and it'll also be used out of school time and run by the community, and also it'll be run during school time once or twice a week with the help of the children. And we've also got a community garden that we're hoping to sell our produce in the Penrhys pantry when we grow in next year. So fingers crossed it's going to be a success for Penrhys and his community.
So Penrhys Primary School is the heart of the Rhondda Valley, and we play an important role in bringing the community together. Both myself and the family engagement officer are out front in the mornings and in the afternoons greeting everyone, and we organise many events in our school which bring community together. So for example, we've had the slow cooker course, well attended, paediatric first aid, cooking on a budget, we do read in Rhondda, and many other activities that bring the community together. Our summer trip has to be up there on the agenda for bringing the community together. We've been to Folly Farm the last couple of years. We're going to Windsor Safari Park for the next one, West Midlands I should say, and that brings 2 or 3 coach loads of parents and children together. Obviously we have assemblies and we have lots of other events and summer fetes, so we do lots of things to bring the community together.
But what truly fetches a sense of community? It's about connecting with your pack, a network of people you can count on through every bounce and roll of life.
I must have moved up here about 20 years ago, or my son was about a month old. He passed up here, and my girls were born and bred up here. I remember when I moved up saying that we'd only be up here for about a year. I've lived so many different places in my life, and we're now up here 20 odd years later, so it goes to show about the community spirit. When we went through everything we did with my son, this community pulled together and showed what an amazing place it was to live. And everybody rallied together, they were supportive, and even to now, when we're trying to get things done, the community does pull together, whether it's working out and about. We've got quite a lot of volunteers that have come and joined us recently to be able to keep everything going up here. So I can't say enough good about the place.
So I've been working here nearly 15 years, and I've done a few roles within the school. And over the last few years, my role has been a family engagement officer. And I think if there's one thing the Penrhys has is the community. It's a very tight-knit community. And when it comes to the crunch, they all stick together and they all help each other out. So that's what sticks out most for me in Penrhys is the community. And it's sort of dying out in the valleys, but I think this is one of the very last really tight-knit communities.
As someone who spent, my teenage years living in Penrhys, it's great to come back and to kind of role model for some of the younger people here in Penrhys to show that, if you want a career in the arts, or using the skills within arts and the transferable skills for any career really, that it is definitely possible. I think, as a place that's somewhat abandoned by local services, kind of left to itself, it's nice for people to be able to come and to share their experiences, definitely as a qualified and professional artist and with my colleagues on the programme. But yeah, for me, coming back after, about 8 years, I think, since I lived here, it's nice really to kind of see, things have changed a bit. There's some closures to some buildings and stuff, but primarily the community spirit is still there, and that's something that I thrive to continue building on within the provision that I run.
I'm the neighbourhood manager here in Penrhys. I've been up here for 2.5 years. I think part of the role as neighbourhood manager, housing officer is, to be the face of Tirelessly talking to the guys up here, you know, meeting the residents. But it's not just about, you know, shuffling paperwork as far as I'm concerned. It's getting to know people's names, the kids' names, the dogs' names, you know, being embedded in the community, talking to them, and them getting to know me. You know, there's a lot of perhaps fear of officialdom, but, you know, hopefully they just know me as David, and they come and, you know, ask for help if need be. You know, if there's something wrong with their houses or something with their neighbours, or sometimes some other issues. You know, we'll find that it's good to talk, build up a level of trust with them, and, you know, it's been fantastic. I don't want to be working anywhere else. You know, me and the Penrhys guys, we get on. We banged heads a few times, but, you know, at the end of the day, I think that's what, like, families are like. And I seem to have been adopted by the Penrhys family. They're great.
I've lived at Penrhys since 1970. Moved off once or twice, but I always came back here. All my children grew up at Penrhys, went to Penrhys schools. I worked in the school myself, in the kitchen. Then I was a supervisor. And I've come back, been coming to the church now for a few years. And I love living up here. It's the community will stick together when something goes wrong. I mean, yeah, we've had bad stuff happen, but that happens everywhere. You know, not only up here, but Penrhys has had a bad name. But we love it here, you know, and church is like the meeting place for everybody. The cafe, the homework club, everything goes on there, and I help out in mostly everything, and I really enjoy.
Everyone helps each other, they support each other. I've seen the changes of the site. When I lived up here when I was 4 years old, so when it was first built in 1970, so I've seen the changes of the old build. Now I'm looking forward to the new build of the Tirelessly is doing, so it'll be a big change in my life as well.
It's unsurprising that the community has found ways to create spaces for connection with the resources available to them. Rather than focusing on what they didn't have, they focused on their strength, which was each other.
This is the games room. It's open every Wednesday and Thursday night during evening cafe. Wednesdays 5 till 7, Thursday 6 till 7, unless there's no school, and then homework club will go on the Thursday and cafe will go 5 till 7. This room is very, very popular in the evenings. You've got the majority of the children that will come up here. Getting them all to have a go isn't always easy, and some of the elder teens, which were struggling to have things to do because there's not a lot of things for them to be able to do, they've taken a shine to this. We've spoke to them, and they are up here now every Wednesday and Thursday without fail, and since this room has been going, they've been doing that. They've been quite good out on Penrhys. We can't fault them at all, to the point we're looking at opening up something on a Monday night with purely that age group in mind as well.
One of the best things about Penrhys is the inclusion, because the children here, they will play with all the children in the complex needs classes. There's lots of interrelationships, there's no discrimination, and it works really, really well. So it's fantastic for all the children, both in mainstream and in the complex needs. I think the key to this school is relationships. It's a small school, you get to know all the children really, really well. You actually see them grow up and go through the school, you teach their siblings, the staff have a really good relationship. And I think that's the key about Penrhys. We are a family school, and we know each other very, very well.
For a project like Above and Beyond, it's extremely important to work with multiple partners, all offering, you know, something different to the table. I think for the community of Penrhys, you know, like I said before, they felt abandoned in some way by a lot of local services. But you know, that's changing, and people are coming together more and really respecting what the community have to offer. We're a very responsive programme, and we respond to priorities, not just of ourselves and our funders, but also, those around us and our partners. So, collaborating, with Tirelessly, like to create digital projects is important for us, as much as important to meet Tirelessly's priorities. So yeah, it's about looking, across the community, because we always bring something different. Us very art specific, but, like I said earlier, with transferable skills, and how that's important for the work that Tirelessly wants to do to improve the community and take some pressure off each other, I think. We can't do everything, we aren't a all-for-one project, and, I think the more that we build our relationships and the more that we work together, the more that we can achieve better things for the community.
While the people of Penrhys love where they live and know what it's truly like to live in this village in the sky, often the wider world sees them differently.
I've often described them as Millwall. We hate everybody and everybody hates us. I like that spiky attitude from the residents up here. They're very independent, they're very tough. The winters up here are tough. But, the people, like I said earlier, they're a big family, and they rely on each other. And the community support is fantastic. So that's what I love about it, that it is a community in the old-fashioned sense, and they will bang heads, but at the end of the day, they will still care for each other, love each other, and look out for each other. And that's what they sell to me, and that's what I've seen happening quite a lot.
Hi, I'm Charlie and I'm here to tell you why I love Penrhys. Penrhys is good because it gives you lots of opportunities on dance and parkour, even on a Wednesday night like right now. It's loads of opportunities with Kyle and Sandra from dance and parkour, and it just gives people something to do up here. Thank you.
I think the difference of having a project like Above and Beyond Running is, that weekly commitment that we can offer to the young people. I think there's many, service providers that have come and offered things that have been in short bursts. And, like I said, there was many other services here when I was a teenager that aren't here anymore. The community centre isn't in use. The art centre wasn't in use when I was living here, but that's no longer existent. And everything centralises around Llanfair United Church and the work that they kind of put into the young people. So, I think having that weekly provision that exists is so important to show the young people that, people are willing to show up for them if they're willing to show up for themselves. So, yeah, I think it's offering different experiences. We've taken young people to perform in the Sherman Theatre in the National Eisteddfod Wales. So it's really broadening their horizons on what is possible if they show determination and show commitment.
Penrhys has got a grim name from historically. I meet people all over Wales who've heard about it. It hasn't helped that there's been stuff on the internet perpetuating the myth, but I think you've only got to scratch the surface and find out that there is care and attention from the people here, and they may not have a lot, but they'll a lot of people are willing to share it with each other. But I think part of my job, especially with trying to bring about sort of rejuvenation up here, is to change people's perceptions. And if we can improve the housing stock for people, improve their lives, let people see a better site up here as opposed to perhaps mould and damp and boarded up properties. Get some nice shiny new ones up here, and people are proud and looking after the place.
It's important that people realise that Penrhys has changed. In the 70s, it didn't have the best reputation, but now it is a really community-based, very inclusive area. And I think it's important that people realise that, what a close-knit community it is, the involvement of the church and the work that Sharon does in the church is really, really central to the community.
I think it does come with a negative tag, but I know for a fact that when you come to be part of Penrhys, whether it's working or visiting or people that have lived here, it totally changes your mind. Specifically for a school, we get lots of people come to work here and they've sort of got a preconception of what Penrhys is going to be like, but then they love it here, and there's teachers here that have worked here for a very long time and they tend not to leave because they just love Penrhys. It's the type of place I think that's got a negative tag, but it grabs hold of you.
I think Penrhys gets, a lot of rap and a lot of stick for being, run down and for being violent and all these antisocial things. But one thing I'd love people who haven't been to Penrhys to know is that it's one of the safest places you can be. If you give the time to the people of Penrhys, they will, go literally above and beyond to give back to you. So that's one thing I'd really like people who've never been to know, is the sense of community and how strong it can be when you spend time in Penrhys.
Oh, it has changed a lot. A lot of houses been knocked down. There was a lot of trouble years ago, really bad trouble. But it's not as bad as that now, not half as bad as that.
It's the old reputation from the 80s, 90s, when it was bad up here and there was a lot of drugs and things like that. It was all enclosed, and so, but with the church and everything, it's changed. The people that left here now more supportive.
But in contrast to how the rest of the world sees Penrhys, how can we discover the truth through the memories of the people that live and work there and the things they love most about it?
Oh, I remember all the shows we've had in the church or the school, carnivals and lots of things,
I think that the snow stays up here longer than the rest of the valley. I live in Porthcawl and there was no snow. I come up the valleys and I see that there's still snow on Penrhys 2 weeks after it's gone everywhere else. I like seeing the sort of fun days and open days where the kids throwing sponges at me on a soaking wet day, or seeing people all mucking in on clean-up days, and you've got mums with shovels and their wellies and digging in and helping that. I don't see that in other estates. I don't see that in communities elsewhere. That's a throwback to many, many years ago, perhaps other generations, but up here it's reality. They will do that on a day in, day out basis. So those are the things I remember and I'm proud of.
For me, one of the most memorable experiences is, within the first, couple of months that I was on the project, we went down to the Shimmer Theatre and we performed in the foyer space, just a short little piece, centralised around a table and a chair, early days of some of these people in their kind of movement journey and performance journey. And one of the young people was like, oh, how come we're not on the big stage? And we were like, oh, look, time will come. We're just kind of easing into it. That young person got to perform on the main stage of the Sherman, last week for us, and seeing his face beam with joy and, that progression that he's had, alongside, many others. But yeah, that for me showcases why it's important that we show up for these young people. So for me, that's the most memorable.
Sports day. They are so competitive. They're the most competitive parents I've ever met in my life. But on the other hand, they always turn up for their children. I think that's a really strong quality parents of Penrhys primary children have. They always turn up for their children.
I think our Christmas productions are really good because with my own children, I've been to Christmas concerts and, they don't always get the opportunities. They pick a few kids who are really good, who do all singing, all dancing really well, and the other kids just sit on the side and sort of sing. Whereas here, we give every child a chance. We rewrite the scripts, we ad-lib it. So I think, they're always memorable because they do reflect the children's personalities.
Penrhys, what I love most about Penrhys, just the feel of being up here, the hard work, the honesty, the kindness of the parents. As I said, I've been here now, this is my 3rd year, and I wouldn't want to go anywhere else now. I'm here till the end.
And what about the future? With a major regeneration project already in motion, what are the hopes for the people and the place they call home?
I hope that, once we do, continue with the redevelopment, once it's gone beyond the spades in the ground and we build in, that it actually retains its character. We want better housing stock and we want people to be happy in their homes. But, do we want to, dilute the actual sort of bulldog spirit that they already have, because I said they were Millwall, you know, they turned their back on everybody because no one liked them. You know, would we be, you know, dispersing that by bringing in many people from outside? But I hope that people come from the outside, I hope they would add to the mix, and so that they could see that it's not just a windswept village on top of a mountain. You know, it is something to be proud of, and for them to help build and be part of that community as well.
I'm excited for the regeneration because I think the people of Penrhys deserve it. I don't know if I'd change anything. No, I think no. Maybe transport links. That's what I'd change for them. There's not very many transport links up here. That's one thing I could change for them. But other than that, and new homes, I wouldn't really change anything.
Well, we're very fortunate in that we're going to be having a new school. And I'm hopeful that the new school will be an all singing, all dancing model with all the equipment and the space that the children need. We've got fabulous views outside in Penrhys, and to have a fantastic school with all the latest equipment would be really wonderful.
So I'd love to see more. The shop obviously is open again now, which is great, but I know there used to be a community centre here, there used to be a gym here, there used to be, I think, a doctor's surgery, various things that have all closed down, and it's really sad to see that these important parts of the community are not being used anymore. So I would love just all of that to open up again, and for the community who live here to have access to all these facilities.
I would like to see more up here for the children in the way of parks and things, you know, and perhaps a post office, you know, more things for the children. I'd like to fetch them up here and show them around the church for one thing, because everybody we seem to show around the church are amazed at what goes on in there. And I'd like to see people off the site knowing what goes on up here, you know, and see the good of Penrhys.
Well, I hope that when the old site is replaced with new buildings, that the old spirit will stay on and we'll all support each other.
My one hope for the future of the people in Penrhys is that they continue to be imaginative and they continue to dream and they can continue to push boundaries. Yeah, there's a lot of barriers in place, but we continue to push them down and we continue to strive. I'd love for more spaces to open and for spaces to be better utilised, and for local services to continue investing in the people of Penrhys, because they certainly are moving anyway. So yeah, that's my hope.
I would love for this community to really just thrive, for there more people to live here again. At the moment it seems to be that a lot of people are leaving for various reasons, but I really would love that this community is just finding its new kind of strength and identity and cohesion within each other. Some of the things of us working with all the different age groups is also important to us, to bring a community cohesion, to bring people together again, even though, you know, they are very close, but sometimes there are pockets of people, and it's important for everyone to feel they belong and have that sense of belonging, and Penrhys being that, you know, amazing place that it is, and, you know, say that to the world.